At the start of the story, we see a special FBI agent named John who had just arrived at a museum in Rome. John had received word that a renowned thief, Nolan Booth, had devised a plan to steal from the museum. He intends to steal priceless gold artifacts from the museum. Despite John's repeated explanations, the museum director did not listen to him. He was fully confident in the museum's security. However, John continued his investigation. He revealed something that left everyone astonished. While checking the egg, John realized that this egg was fake. The real egg had already been stolen. But he proceeded, and then chaos erupted in the museum. As everyone began to flee in all directions, John saw Nolan was present and realized he was the thief, then began chasing him. But Nolan used his incredible parkour skills and left all the guards behind. John employed forceful methods. The cunning thief deceived John and escaped. Meanwhile, Nolan made a risky leap, jumping into a pipe and sliding to the other side. But despite the numerous challenges and setbacks he faced, John still didn't give up on his dreams. He entered a passage and began chasing Nolan through the museum's narrow alleys. Despite the agent's best efforts, Nolan managed to escape cleverly. About 56 hours after the incident, Nolan was celebrating his victory, holding alcohol in one hand and an egg in the other. He thought he was the craftiest thief in the world, but his feeling would not last long. John was sitting at Nolan's hideout with his entire team. There was no way to approach, so John arrested him. But Nolan still couldn't understand how they found him. John then informed him that a thief named Bishop had revealed his whereabouts. Bishop is the world's #1 most wanted thief. Nolan, who has long tried to take Bishop's position, is now in second place. The stolen egg has been secured for Interpol's custody. However, during the operation, a twist occurred. The undercover agent replaced the real egg with a fake one, and that agent was none other than Bishop herself. The next day, circumstances worsened for John as he was accused of helping thieves because evidence was found against him in which a Swiss account was created in his name in which $8 million were deposited. This destroyed John's reputation, which he had earned through years of work. Additionally, he was arrested and placed in a maximum security prison in the snowy mountains of Russia, and he would share a cell in prison with Nolan. With no other option available, the two had to join forces. Imprisoned in a cold Russian jail, Nolan begins understanding the situation. Behind his capture is none other than Bishop, the real mastermind. A cunning thief whom no one has been able to catch so far. Nolan revealed that it's not just about that egg. This egg is the key to a very large prize. An Egyptian billionaire has promised that whoever brings him all 3 eggs before his daughter's wedding will receive a reward of $300 million. 2 eggs have been collected, but the third one is still a mystery. He explained he was searching for 3 eggs for a reason, but Benna's involvement ruined his plan when John arrived. Now, Bishop was clearly after the eggs. He carefully set up an intricate and effective trap designed specifically for both of them, ensuring that no one would be able to steal his precious eggs or manage to successfully locate and find him. When they were brought before the audience in front, both were surprised to see Bishop herself waiting there. Out of some fear, she stood there dressed as a jail officer. Her demeanor was unique. She offered Nolan an egg in her possession. She had already planned to steal the second one. If he helped her search for the third egg, she would give him 10% of the reward. Poulin made fun of her offer and immediately refused. Bishop wasn't bothered by his refusal and quietly left. But before leaving, she stated she'd always stay 2 steps ahead of him. Now, John was angry. "You wasted a great opportunity to get out of jail, you bastard," she told Nolan. "But if we team up, escaping from this jail would be easier. He doesn't want to spend his whole life there." John's plan was to stop Bishop and retrieve the eggs, so that she could regain her lost status. Nolan was hesitant at first but eventually agreed. He thought that if Bishop was caught and he escaped from jail, he will become the world's most wanted thief. Now, both are planning to escape from this dangerous prison. The first part of their plan was in the dining hall, where Nolan executes a cunning move. He started claiming that John is an undercover FBI agent. Hearing this, a large and dangerous inmate immediately got angry, and a fight broke out between him and John. The whole prison erupted in chaos, and guards rushed in to calm things down. John pulls both of them and takes them outside. John angrily threatens Nolan not to do such a thing again, but Nolan says it's part of his plan. During that disturbance, he had stolen a key card, which was crucial for their escape from jail. Seeing the key card, John also became somewhat calm. Later, during their conversation, Nolan revealed that his father was also a police officer who never praised him and always only wanted Nolan's attention. So he thought, since the police pay the most attention to the thief, I will become a thief. This conversation deepened the relationship between the two. Now they worked together on the next plan. First, they had to make a temporary bomb, for which they needed soap, toothpaste, and nitric. Their meticulously prepared blast caused chaos in the jail. The guards' attention was diverted, giving both of them a chance to escape. The next step was to slowly loosen a stone in the jail wall, which provided them with a way to exit from there. When the explosion caused chaos in the jail, the two quickly began climbing the high walls of the jail, encountering several difficulties along the way. Nolan slipped on an icy rock and was about to fall, but John caught him just in time as they reached a helicopter landing pad. The guard present was busy on his phone, enjoying Russian music while looking at photos of Putin. Therefore, he didn't realize that Nolan and John had arrived there. John immediately knocked out the guard, after which Nolan ran to the helicopter. Meanwhile, John was fighting the guard pursuing him. Then the guard fired the rocket launcher. The rocket went straight and collided with the same bridge where John was present. But somehow, John survived and reached the other side. But the massive explosion shook the helicopter. Nolan could have left alone but didn't want to leave John. He was using the minigun attached to the helicopter to lay down a hail of fire on the guards, causing them to retreat. Seizing the opportunity, John jumped onto the helicopter. Just then, another missile appeared in the air. Thinking quickly, John also opened the other door of the helicopter. And the missile passed through the middle of the helicopter and collided directly with a mountain. After that, they immediately exited the helicopter from there. Meanwhile, Bishop was watching all this commotion calmly from afar. In London, using someone else's computer, she sent Interpol a secret message to inform them that John and Nolan had escaped from jail. Smiling at her cleverness, she began preparing her next move. Meanwhile, Nolan and John met with Nolan's old trusted friend, Tamday, who had brought a new plane for them. Nolan's sources had discovered the second egg. It was with a famous weapons smuggler in Spain, and they had already located his house. Ton was simple, to steal an egg from his house, though it was risky as his fortress-like house had guards with guns stationed at intervals. There were about 90 cameras throughout the house, leaving no corner uncovered. Wanda was inside a special vault, which was made of half-meter thick steel. Despite all this, to carry out the theft, they created a deep fake video. Additionally, they employed a clever trick to take the dealer's phone and extract his password. After that, we see the same arms smuggler in Spain, who was hosting a lavish party at his home. John blended into the party dressed as a wealthy guest, while Nolan, posing as a waiter, was circulating among the people serving drinks. John saw that Bishab had also come to the party. Their eyes met, and Bishab gave a slight smile before leaving. But before John could do anything, our armed smuggler came to the stage and started delivering a long speech. John took advantage of this opportunity and quietly went behind and stole the dealer's phone. Neither of them knew that Interpol officer Agent Doss was also at the party, quietly watching everything. Nolan pretended to spill wine on John to ruin his clothes, and after that, the two made an excuse to go to the restroom to clean their clothes and exited from there. And took the password. They had 45 seconds during the guard's shift change. Taking advantage of this, they quickly reached the vault. In front of the vault was a very thick titanium door. But their deep fake trick worked, and the vault opened, revealing many rare and valuable artifacts inside. Among all of them was the other golden spear. Both of them were quite happy now, but suddenly, a lamb started to escape. After that, Agent Doss was now pointing a gun at them. John, showing agility, knocked the gun out of his hand and closed the vault's door. So they could get some time, but besides them, there was someone else. Vish was coming out of the darkness and said, "I have already reached the vault." Bishop faced John and Nolan. A fierce fight erupted between the two tents, with the three clashing violently in the confined space. John and Nolan teamed up to fight Bishop. But Bishop, with his agility and cunning, overwhelmed both of them. Then, the arms dealer entered the vault. He revealed that he was allied with Bishop. Hearing this, Nolan and John were left speechless and were soon captured. Next day, when both regained consciousness, they saw they were in the arms smuggler's house. They were tied up in the basement. The dealer questioned them. When asked about the third egg, Nolan quickly fabricated a story claiming it was hidden somewhere in Egypt. False, but for a while, the dealer was calm. Then, Bishop deceived the dealer by giving him champagne, inside which he had already mixed narcotic drugs. In the process of celebrating, the dealer even drank that alcohol. After that, he suddenly fell and started having difficulty breathing. After that, Bishop came out of the safe with a smile on his face. Taking a second egg, she left John and Nolan tied up so they'd suffer her actions' consequences. Shortly, the armed smuggler regained consciousness. Everything was looking blurry to him, and he started firing bullets at both of them with his gun. One of these bullets severed John and Nolan's veins. After the noise died down, the two of them quietly left from there. But as soon as they exited the van, they went straight into the middle of a bullring. Due to the bright sunlight, their eyes were temporarily dazzled. Then they saw that the crowd around them was clapping loudly. At that moment, a very angry bull came running towards them. Its horns were gleaming. Nolan, panicked, waved his hand as if it were a metronome. The crowd thought he was going to fight the bull and everyone began clapping loudly. John barely managed to dodge the bull by quickly turning around, narrowly escaping it. Meanwhile, exhausted Nolan climbed the bullring wall, and together they escaped the crowd into winding alleys. After that incident, when everything became calm, John opened up and spoke for the first time. Hesitantly, he revealed that he knew about a famous thief. But one day, when he was young, they left him. Because of this betrayal, he decided to join the police force. Because he had begun to hate thieves like his father, Nolan was listening carefully and could feel his pain. He ultimately revealed knowing the third egg's location, and Nolan explained a German officer fled to Argentina after World War II. A suitcase holds treasures and a watch. Inside the watch is a coded secret location that, when deciphered, will lead them to the egg. After many years, Nolan's father, who was an expert treasure hunter, unearthed that watch. After diligently solving every intricate clue, he successfully reached an old Nazi bunker that was hidden deep within the dense jungles of Argentina. After years of piecing together fragments of this story, Nolan had even found the last piece. Preparing himself, John and Nolan set off into the jungle. Through dense forests and dangerous swamps, they finally reached the old bunker. As soon as they entered, the bunker lights went out suddenly. It felt like time had stopped. Beyond the strong steel door, they found. The lost treasure consisted of gleaming old artifacts from the Nazi era, and among them was the third Cleopatra's egg. The egg was shining in the dim light, but their happiness didn't last long. As soon as they went to take the egg, Bishop entered. Her deceitful face was proof that she had been tracking them from the start. Immediately after, Agent Doss arrived there with his elite SWAT team. That small bunker had now turned into a battleground. Bullets were flying from all directions, ricocheting off the steel walls. Everyone aimed to seize the treasure. Amid chaos, John, Nolan, and Bishop saw a chance, boarded an old vehicle, and fled. He accelerated the car quickly to escape. But suddenly the road ended and he fell straight into the river from a very high ledge. Quickly, Nolan emerged from the water and the egg was still in his hand. But as soon as he found out that John was missing, without thinking, leaving the egg, he went back into the water in search of his friend. But John had already emerged from the water earlier. At that moment, the truth emerged: John had deceived everyone. From the start, John and Bishop were a loving team, not enemies. They were stealing together, it was all a game. All their planning was just to use Nolan, so that he would tell them the location of the third egg. Both played their roles so well that Nolan couldn't understand anything. They tied Nolan to a tree, he was forced to keep watching, and in front of his eyes, John and Bishop disappeared into the forest with all 3 eggs. This deceit Coke hurt Nolan's heart, but he decided that he would defeat these two. Meanwhile, in Egypt, a grand celebration was taking place. The grand Egyptian palace was beautifully decorated, and the billionaire's daughter was getting married. And now that special moment will soon come when the billionaire will present all 3 eggs together before the world, bringing all 3 eggs with great fanfare before everyone. But in the middle of this celebration, suddenly Agent Tass and his Interpol team broke through the red door and entered inside. The agents took full control of the situation unexpectedly. The music suddenly stopped and was replaced by screams and howls. Chaos erupted everywhere. All the guests got slightly scared when these soldiers grabbed all 3 eggs. They handcuffed the drunkard along with his gang and took him away in embarrassment. The police also did not spare the bride and took her with them. Amidst all this commotion, John and Bishop were watching everything from a hidden spot. Both had a slight smile on their faces, staying unnoticed by anyone. And soon they quietly left there, having already earned 300 million, they no longer cared about anything. Approximately 6 months later, in the calm seas of Italy, John and Bishop were enjoying a luxurious memory on an expensive yacht, but suddenly Nolan made an entrance and shocked both of them. Smiling, he climbed onto the yacht's deck. Nolan calmly picked up a tablet and displayed his master stroke. He had traced all their accounts where they had deposited the money, and he had given all these details to Interpol. Upon hearing this, both John and Bishop panicked. All their accounts had been frozen, and they had nothing left. Nolan, having fun, said, "Didn't I beat up the thugs?" But he didn't tease them for long. He said he has an awesome theft idea, but he can't handle this mission alone. He needs both of them. John outright refused to work with us. But Vish realized that we don't have the money. What other options did they have besides Nolan? Where will the hijacking take place? We'll find out in the upcoming unreleased movie. When it releases, we'll make a video. Subscribe to channel.